Let me paint you a picture. You're 32 years old. You have a real job, not your college job, your actual career. You're making more money than you thought you'd make at this age. Maybe $60,000, maybe $75,000, maybe more. You go to work, you pay your bills, you're not doing anything crazy, and yet every single month, somewhere around the 25th, you check your bank account and the number just doesn't make sense. Like, where did it go? You didn't take a lavish vacation, you didn't buy anything major, but there's almost nothing left, and you're slowly starting to believe that you just don't make enough money. That's not the problem, and I can prove it. My name is Walter, and I spend way too much time thinking about the quiet, recurring patterns that silently separate people who build real financial security from people who always feel one paycheck away from stress. If you're someone who earns a decent income but still can't figure out where your money actually goes, hit subscribe and give this a thumbs up if it helps you out. Now, this video isn't a list of tips about budgeting apps or cutting out lattes. We're not doing that today. This is about something more foundational, a structural problem that's completely invisible until you actually name it. The reason most people in their 30s haven't hit a single major money milestone isn't their income, their discipline, or their priorities. It's a specific type of spending that doesn't feel like spending at all. Small, recurring, invisible, and compounding against you every single month. Think about your monthly expenses for a second. Not your rent, not your car payment, the other stuff, the streaming services. You probably have at least 3. The gym membership you use twice a month, the app subscriptions you signed up for and completely forgot about, the food delivery fees, the monthly box, the premium tier on something you don't remember upgrading, the cloud storage, the extra data plan. None of these feel like real financial decisions. They feel like $12 here, $8 there, rounding errors. But here's where it gets really interesting. These aren't random small charges. These are automatic, recurring payments that leave your account with zero decision-making required from you. You don't choose to spend that money every month, it just disappears. And because there's no moment of friction, no moment where you physically hand someone cash and feel it leave your hand, your brain never registers it as a real expense. Psychologists actually have a name for this, the pain of paying. When spending is invisible, the pain disappears. And when the pain disappears, so does your awareness. And eventually, so does your savings. The average person in their 30s right now is carrying somewhere between 12 and 15 recurring subscriptions or automatic charges. And here's the alarming part. Most people underestimate their own subscription spend by nearly 50%. You think you have 6. You actually have 13. This isn't guesswork. A study by C&R Research found that consumers dramatically underestimate their monthly subscription spending, and that the real average exceeds $200 per month in subscription services alone. That's before we even touch the sneaky recurring costs that don't look like subscriptions at all. This lines up exactly with research from Carnegie Mellon University, published in the journal Psychological Science, where Dr. Drazen Prelick and Duncan Simister studied what they called the credit card premium. Their core finding was this: the more a payment is decoupled from the moment of decision, the less psychological pain you feel, and the less aware you are of what you're spending. Cash creates the highest pain. Credit cards reduce it significantly. Automatic recurring charges? The pain is essentially zero. Subscriptions take this a step further. There isn't even a moment of decision anymore. You decided once, months ago, probably half asleep after a free trial expired, and that one sleepy decision is now costing you every single month on autopilot, completely below your awareness. Now, you might be thinking, Walter, these are tiny amounts. $12 here, $15 there. This is not why I'm not building wealth. And look, I hear you. Each individual charge genuinely is small. That part is completely true. But here's what that argument misses. Wealth is almost never lost in dramatic moments. It's not lost when you buy a car you can't afford or when you blow your savings on one trip. Those are visible. You see them, you feel them, you remember them. Wealth is lost in the invisible, recurring drip. The $200 a month in subscriptions you don't consciously think about, the $90 a month in delivery fees and service charges, the $50 a month in, I thought I canceled that. Add those together, and you're looking at a number that, when you actually sit down and calculate it, is going to genuinely surprise you. And here's the part nobody actually says out loud. The 10 major financial milestones that define a healthy financial life in your 30s, a real emergency fund, the beginning of compounding investments, no high interest debt, a savings rate that actually moves the needle, none of them require you to earn dramatically more money. Most people already earn enough to hit all of them. What they don't have is enough money left over after the invisible drain. You cannot fill a bucket that has holes in the bottom, no matter how fast you pour. The problem isn't your income, it's the leaks underneath it. Let me run the actual numbers with you. Let's say you're making $72,000 a year. After taxes, depending on your state, you're taking home around $4,800 a month. Now let's walk through just the invisible layer, the spending that happens before you make a single conscious financial decision. Streaming. Netflix, Hulu, Max, and that Disney Plus bundle you kept around, roughly $65 a month. Music, $11. Gym membership, $45. 2 app subscriptions you've forgotten about, $25 combined. Amazon Prime, $15 a month. Cloud storage, $10. Food delivery twice a week with fees and tips, a conservative $160 a month. That's already $331. Now add the recurring small habits. A coffee shop stop most mornings at $6, that's $120 a month. Lunch out 4 or 5 times a week, around $200. Convenience fees, the occasional ATM charge, rounding errors, call it $35. We're now at approximately $686 a month. In money that left your account silently, habitually, automatically, with zero conscious decision making from you. Over 12 months, that's $8,232. Over 5 years, $41,160. But here's where you should actually stop. If that $686 a month had been invested instead at a conservative 8% average annual return, over 10 years, you're looking at just over $125,000. Not because you got a raise, not because you found some winning investment, because you stopped the leak. That is the actual math working against you right now. So, what are the 10 money milestones you should genuinely be hitting in your 30s? Here's the honest answer. They're not what you usually see on financial advice channels. Milestone 1. Do a full subscription audit. Every recurring charge, every automatic payment, every membership. Write the real number down. You cannot fix what you cannot see. Milestone 2. Create a spending friction layer. One card reviewed every single week for all discretionary purchases. Not to punish yourself, just to make the invisible visible. Milestone 3. Build a 1-month expense buffer before you invest aggressively. This is the thing that stops financial emergencies from forcing you to undo your own progress. Milestone 4. Cancel every subscription you haven't actively used in the last 30 days. Not the ones you intend to use, the ones you actually used. Milestone 5. Set an automatic investment transfer for the day after your paycheck lands. Even $100. Not what's left over, first. Milestone 6. Grow that emergency fund to 3 months of expenses. No high-interest debt can survive this foundation. Milestone 7. Eliminate every remaining high-interest debt using the avalanche method. Highest rate first. Milestone 8. Every time you get a raise, increase your investment rate by 1% before lifestyle inflation absorbs it. 1%. That's it. Milestone 9. Understand one tax-advantaged account. A 401k, a Roth IRA, an HSA. Just one. Use it. Milestone 10. Do a full financial review once a year. Not obsessively, not every week, once. 12 months of invisible drift is fixable in one focused afternoon. None of these milestones require a new income. They require you to see clearly first. There's a version of your 30s where you're making good money, doing everything more or less right, and still arriving at 40 with nothing substantial built. Not because you failed, not because you made bad decisions, because the drain was quiet. And quiet drains don't announce themselves. They just run, continuously, under the surface, until you decide to look. Now you know where to look. If this video changed how you see your own spending, even slightly, subscribe. There's a lot more on this channel about the quiet mechanics of building real financial security without turning into someone who lectures people at dinner. You don't need to be dramatic about this, you just need to be honest about the numbers. I'll see you in the next one.